Hi folks, just out here in the forest taking a little stroll. I thought maybe I could find a deer antler, but more or less just kind of alone here with my thoughts. This old trail through the forest here was once part of the old Coal Lake Trail, and Dad always used to talk about how Grandpa would head for Coal Lake to get supplies when they were all kids, and he would have went down this trail with the ox cart. And Dad said he'd leave early in the morning to go to the town of Coal Lake with the ox cart, and it would take him all day. It was late in the evening when he would get home. And it's just kind of, it makes me feel nostalgic walking along this trail that's growing up, which is kind of a shame that it is growing up. We're walking down this trail that Grandpa would have took the ox cart down back in the 1930s, I guess, the late 30s. It's kind of a nice little walk. I'd kind of like to take the bulldozer and open it up again. I mean, you could easily get down it with a quad, but some spots have gotten pretty narrow here. I just would hate to lose this trail and have it all go back to trees that you couldn't even find it anymore. Now the only thing that uses it is cattle, I guess. When we pasture cattle in here, they walk down it, and the deer and stuff like that. The deer go for a walk down it. The moose. It looks like a big old skull from a horse that died at some point many years ago. I guess. I mean, it definitely would have been in my time, but I don't remember or know what horse it would have been. But you got fields over there, through there, and this old road just skirts through. I really enjoy taking walks like this. Find it nice and peaceful. A bit of some hills there. A little bit of a hill. Anyways, folks, I'm just gonna be here alone with my thoughts. If I find an antler or something, I'll turn you on. Here was one of the old homesteads that was on some of this land. This one was mostly made out of lumber. Well, on the inside anyways. The outside was logs. Back in the 30s and the 40s, there was pretty much a homestead with a family on every quarter out here. In every quarter of land. Somehow this country was unsettled and they had some sort of a deal. I'm not sure how it worked. The Homesteaders Act, that these people were brought up here and they were kind of put on a quarter of land, and I think they had 3 years or something like that, 3 years to break up 10 acres of land, which doesn't seem a lot now, but back then it was hard to do. And right back in there, this little opening, I think that was a little field that this fellow opened up. And there was some sort of a deal, I think, that they had to break 10 acres of land within 3 years, And if they did, then the quarter was theirs to keep. So yeah, you can walk around out here and there's pretty much an old house like this, the remains of an old building on every quarter. But Dad said, you know, they were here in the 30s and in the 40s, but by the time 50 rolled around to 1950, Dad said pretty near every one of them was moved out. They were all gone. And we ended up with the land. But yeah, a lot of history. A lot of history. Just these little buildings like this, and there's whole families raised in them. And Dad said they had usually big families back then. You know, if you look in here, if I don't encounter a skunk or something. You know, look at just little rooms. And there's a doorway here, just another little room. I don't know if these were bedrooms back here or what they were on this end. Some of them still have some old appliances and different things in them. You know, here was a little bit bigger part. Probably the living room and kitchen. Yeah, quite the history.